G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at how you can no item run the Shadow Dragon Saga stage in DBZ Dokkan battle. Now of course the Shadow Dragon Saga stage originally was one of the tougher stages. The main reason being is, well, to cut a long story short, there were a couple issues with the stage. Firstly, there were very minimal options in terms of units that you could run. And yeah, that's kind of it, I want to say. Obviously that's not the full reason, but a very large part of it was the minimal units that were available to the team. And because of that, they originally kind of released the stage, and it was one of the easier stages in terms of raw numbers. When the Dragon Ball SS4 units came out for the 4th anniversary, it kind of trivialized the stage. And obviously with further EZAs and that, it's kind of made the stage a lot easier again. So obviously it is still a SBR, a lot of players may still struggle with it. It is just something that I think a lot of players in general could potentially struggle with. Not to say that it's intensely difficult or anything like that, but it is probably a little bit harder than some other stages might be. Now, of course, in terms of everything, in terms of the stage, in terms of all the things about it, I don't think players will struggle too much, but it's not a shame if you do struggle with it. Now, in terms of the actual stage itself, so for our team, basically what we've done is we've chosen the Sin, or the Omega Shenron, as our lead. Obviously after his Extreme Awakening, he's 170% lead across the board, which is pretty good. I think most players will appreciate that. Then of course as well, we also have his passive, which is pretty high damage, pretty good. He starts off at a pretty decent clip, and then he just gets progressively stronger as well, which is something I think a lot of players can appreciate overall. We've gone for more a Shadow Dragon centric team, I think, than maybe most other kind of builds that would have gone. So we also have involved here Oceanus Shenron, an incredibly powerful unit, very very solid. Obviously great in a lot of situations. She has good stats, she's got kind of a good build. She also seals and stuns the opposition as well, and has a whole bunch of buffs associated with that. So in general, she looks pretty good. I don't think there's any world in which Oceanus Shenron does not look good. Even nowadays, she's still a fairly consistent, fairly solid unit. I think a lot of people can be taken by surprise by how good she actually still is as a unit. But yeah, in general, she's still very, very solid. She's great for SBR because of all the kind of debuffing and things that her kit does. So yeah, in general, pretty happy with how she performs as a unit. So then of course, alongside those two kind of main principal units, we have the Strength Omega Shenron and we have the Tech Sin Shenron. So Strength Omega Shenron's a really basic unit in the sense of he provides a really really solid foundation. He provides a unit that in essence kind of exists to debuff the opposition. He I believe provides obviously the debuffing of 40% attack and defense, which is pretty major, especially in an SBR situation where those buffs can kind of stack, and that really really helps in just reducing the overall damage of the opposition quite substantially. So we have that, which I think is for me very very good. Most players will find that to be incredibly solid. So we have that. It's a high value kind of unit to have along in the team, especially for a no item run. It's always good to have units that can reduce the opposition's attack and defense, but especially their attack kind of prevents them from doing huge amounts of damage. And we also have Tech Sin Shenron, a great unit in his own right. Obviously a little bit orb dependent, but considering the team, considering the lack of key issues, you can kind of prioritize links for him and key for him quite a lot. So in general, he tends to do a fairly good job. At least from what I've seen, he tends to do a fairly good job. And so yeah, overall, he's just a very, very good unit. Then we have the Legion of Dragons. A free-to-play LR that's just incredibly solid, great defense after super, but a lot of debuffing and stunning, which again is just something that's incredibly helpful in a ESPR setting. It's just one of those abilities that's always good. A lot of players, I think, value those kind of abilities like in time, and I think the more you run SPR or the more you play SPR, the more you start to value these kind of things like stunning and sealing, etc. So yeah, overall I would say he looks pretty good. I would say the whole team functions really quite well. And then to round out the whole dragon theme, we still have the Sin Shenron, the physical one, who's also again a little bit more of an orb dependent unit, but nothing wrong with that. He's still a fairly consistent, fairly good unit. So yeah, overall I would say the team is really quite good. Honestly, I think they handle everything more than fine. I think they're a very, very strong team that doesn't lack for anything too much. Obviously, maybe damage is a bit of a concern, while physical and Mega Shenron's still building up, but generally speaking, the team has very, very good kind of overall reliability and strength and things like that. So for me, I think the Shadow Dragons SPR obviously is a lot easier. I think most players won't have a huge problem with the Shadow Dragons Saga SPR, especially if you were here during the 7th anniversary with all the buffs that kind of came to that saga. Do I think the Dragons is the best team to do it? I do think they're great for SPR. They've got a lot of great abilities. For example, all the sealing, the stunning, all that is good. I can't sit and say it's not really helpful, and it does make the team, I think, function really well in this setting. But yeah, for me, obviously, really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the team. So yeah, for me, that was just really good stuff. But yeah, in general, I did enjoy the run. I think it was a fairly decent run, fairly solid, and of course, I think overall it's well worth the investment of time, and it was a pretty easy no item run. But yeah, that's basically going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.